我自愿加入中国共产党，履行党员义务，保守党的秘密，永不叛党，为共产主义奋斗终身。
Founded on July 1, 1921, with help from the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, the Chinese Communist Party began with just 50 members, including figures like Chen Duxiu, Li Dajiao, and Mao Zedong. After much hardship and struggle, CCP came to power after winning the Chinese Civil War against KMT Party of Chiang Kai-shek supported by the West. Mao declared the establishment of the People's Republic of China on October 1, 1949, on the Tiananmen Square, and the Republic of China was abolished, which is now Taiwan. First, why everyone discusses about China.
China's China.
China.
China is the second largest economy in the world and continues to grow.
China. Now let's be clear, the so-called golden era is over.
Unlike many developed nations, China isn't a democratic capitalistic country. It has an ideology of communism and opposes liberal trade and liberal ideas. Its successful model shows the world that a country can progress even under totalitarianism, hence challenging the established world order of liberalism and democracy. China's authoritarianism has not hindered its capacity to innovate, as it has emerged as a global leader in AI, biotech, and space exploration. Many ordinary Chinese people see companies like Alibaba, Huawei, and TikTok as sources of national pride rather than just economic contributors. Western political scientists' assumptions that economic growth would naturally lead to political liberalization, as seen in post-WW2 Japan, Germany, and others, is proven wrong. As China's growth has occurred under stable communist rule, challenging the idea that democracy and capitalism are inseparable. China's success in economic and technological domains has strengthened the belief that economic reform can coexist with an authoritarian government, making it clear that China seeks to become both economically and politically successful within its current system. In this video you will know all about the most important institution of China, which is Communist Party of China. The Chinese Communist Party follows the principle of democratic centralism, involving open policy discussions behind closed doors while ensuring unity among members in implementing agreed-upon decisions. The highest authority is the National Congress, convened every 5th year. It elects the 370 members of Central Committee. The Central Committee decides matters when Congress is not in session. The Central Committee elects a 25-member Politburo, which is responsible for setting policies and directions for the party. From the Politburo, a standing committee consisting of 7 to 9 members is elected, which is led by General Secretary. The Standing Committee is the highest decision-making body of the Communist Party. The Politburo and its Standing Committee hold most responsibilities, representing the top leadership of both the party and the state. The leader of the CCP is the General Secretary, Central Military Commission Chairman, and State President, making them the paramount leader. Currently, Xi Jinping serves as the leader, elected in 2012, re-elected in 2017, and again in 2022. Now it's interesting to understand how one party maintains control of a country with 1.5 billion plus population. Starting with China's educational system, which is both free and compulsory, China strategically utilizes its curriculum as a powerful tool to propagate state ideology. This approach is particularly significant as the formation of a nation heavily relies on shaping the beliefs of the younger generation, who are more vulnerable to indoctrination. By exerting control over the educational content, China has effectively cultivated a sense of patriotism, communism, atheism, and productivity among its youth. This has resulted in the development of a highly productive generation that surpasses the accomplishments of its predecessors. This initiative has motivated the younger generation to contribute to China's progress during their lifetime rather than focusing solely on the afterlife. Presently, Chinese youth display a willingness to accept the surveillance by the Chinese Communist Party, viewing it as inconsequential if they have committed no wrongdoings. This mindset reflects their confidence that as long as they remain innocent, there will be no adverse consequences. In the early 1990s, China was very different from what we see today. Many people wore Mao suits and cycled everywhere. Only senior Chinese Communist Party officials used cars. In the countryside, life retained many of its traditional elements. But over the next 30 years, thanks to policies aimed at developing the economy and increasing capital investment, China emerged as a global power, with the second largest economy in the world and a burgeoning middle class eager to spend. Coming to another aspect is armed forces. CCP has sole control over the People's Liberation Army, PLA, through its Central Military Commission. China's military, known as the People's Liberation Army, functions as the armed branch of the CCP, with its primary objectives encompassing the safeguarding of the party's governance and the protection of its interests. CCP's Central Military Commission oversees both the PLA and the People's Armed Police, which focuses on domestic security. The PLA is an integral part of the CCP's organizational structure. The Central Military Commission, headed by the top party leadership, ensures that the military remains under party control. This integration enhances coordination between the party and the military and reinforces a unified command structure. The PLA's role in China's history, particularly in the revolutionary struggle that led to the CCP's rise to power, contributes to the party's narrative of legitimacy. By maintaining close ties to the PLA, the CCP upholds its connection to its revolutionary roots and the ideals that brought it to power. The PLA's allegiance is essential in preventing any internal or external forces from posing a direct threat to the party's authority. The PLA is responsible for handling internal security challenges, such as protests, dissent, and potential uprisings. By ensuring social order and quelling potential threats to the CCP's governance, the PLA plays a pivotal role in safeguarding the party's stability and control. The soldiers of PLA are loyal to the Communist Party, not China. See this video.
要坚持领导带头，以上率下，坚持实战实训、连战连训，发扬一不怕苦、二不怕死的战斗精神。我宣誓，我宣誓，我做中国共产党的领导，全心全意为人民服务。我做别人，坚守敌人，坚守顽强，不怕牺牲，不畏上帝的令，时刻准备战斗，绝不叛逆傀儡，誓死保卫祖国。
Chinese media plays a crucial role in upholding the Chinese Communist Party's authority, promoting its ideology, and shaping public perception. The CCP exercises strict control over media outlets, ensuring that they align with the party's narratives and objectives. State-run media outlets like Xinhua News Agency, People's Daily, and China Central Television, CCTV, serve as powerful tools for disseminating official party messages and policies. Through censorship, propaganda, and information manipulation, the CCP maintains a tight grip on the narrative presented to the public, thereby managing public opinion and maintaining social stability. This control extends to online platforms, where the CCP monitors and regulates internet content to prevent the spread of dissenting voices and ideas. Chinese media not only projects the party's achievements and priorities but also reinforces its legitimacy by highlighting its historical role in China's transformation. The Chinese Communist Party sees the world divided into socialist and capitalist camps. They believe that socialism, based on historical materialism, will eventually overcome capitalism. The ultimate goal for the CCP is achieving true communism, even as the current development stage is seen as resembling capitalism. The ideal principle within the CCP is collective leadership, where decisions are made through consensus. However, this can be complex due to hierarchical rankings within the leadership. Democratic centralism is the CCP's organizational principle, balancing democracy and centralism. Democracy is considered vital but requires centralization for order. The Central Committee, the highest decision-making body between Congresses, selects various bodies to carry out its work. The General Secretary leads the party and presides over key meetings, while the Politburo and Politburo Standing Committee make decisions when other bodies are not in session. The Central Military Commission controls military affairs, with the General Secretary acting as its chairman. The Central National Security Commission coordinates security strategies, led by the General Secretary. The Chinese Communist Party holds significant organizational structure and control. The Central Committee's first meeting, elected every term, appoints leaders of departments, bureaus, and other institutions to carry out work. The General Office handles administrative tasks, while central departments like the Organization Department, Propaganda Department, International Department, and United Front Work Department play their respective roles. The CPC's success is attributed to its evolution from a ruling party to one that infiltrates society, creating a strong presence in all social groups. With around 90 million members, including representation in private enterprises, universities, and the military, the party has become deeply embedded in society. This prevents the emergence of significant counterforces and eliminates the possibility of a large-scale revolt. CCP membership at lower level requires an application process, emphasizing technical and educational qualifications. Probationary members above 18 years take an admission oath that they accept the communist ideology and party's constitution. CCP members include farmers, workers, managers, intellectuals, professional and technical staff, members of armed forces, entrepreneurs and ethnic minority members. The party's approach prioritizes addressing inequality over poverty, influenced by the idea that inequality is more problematic as said by Chinese philosopher Mencius. China maintains a one-party socialist dictatorship politically while adopting a market economic system. However, this has led to inadequate legal checks on the arbitrary exercise of power by the Communist Party. The government's participation in business activities has resulted in monopolistic trading and insider trading, leading to perceptions that those in authority can acquire wealth. In China's socialist system, something interesting happens when we look at state-owned and private companies. The big companies owned by the government usually focus on things like energy, telecom, and transportation. This helps the country grow and share resources fairly among everyone. For example, companies like China National Petroleum Corporation and State Grid Corporation of China play a big role in providing energy and electricity. On the other hand, private companies, which are not owned by the government, often do jobs like giving services to people. These services can be things like food delivery, shopping, or entertainment. For instance, companies like Alibaba and Tencent are private and provide services like online shopping and social media that many people use every day. This mix of companies shows how China tries to balance socialist principles in modern time. The Chinese Communist Party stands as a symbol of national pride for millions of Chinese citizens. Rooted in a history of revolutionary struggle and characterized by its steadfast commitment to socialism with Chinese characteristics, the CPC is viewed by many as the embodiment of China's rise on the global stage. As this party lifted 800 million people from poverty, ended extreme poverty and increased per capita income from $980 in 1990 to $19,000 in 2023. After the Capitol Hill riots, lies that led to Brexit, extreme polarization in Brazil and the troubles Russia faced after the USSR broke up, the Chinese Communist Party say that while people talk a lot about how great democracy is, these events show it's not always perfect. The chaos at the Capitol and the complications with Brexit show that democracies can lead to disunity and polarization. The Chinese Communist Party also worries that it might face a situation similar to what happened to the Communist Party of the Soviet Union after the Soviet Union broke apart. Back then, the countries that became independent from the USSR ended up being influenced by Western countries, causing ongoing problems for Russia. The CPC is concerned that if it loses control, China could also have regions break away and align with the West, creating difficulties just like what Russia faced. This is why the CPC focuses on keeping a tight hold on its rule, keeping the country together, and making sure everyone follows the same beliefs, to avoid similar issues. Challenges for the party. The principle of democratic centralism in the Communist Party of China emphasizes the subordination of individuals to the party organization. The party's ideology forbids personality cults and ensures the supervision of party leaders while upholding their prestige. Xi Jinping's rise to power marked a departure from the consensus rule established by Deng Xiaoping in the 1980s, moving towards strongman leadership. Some experts caution that relying on a single leader for reforms could threaten the CCP's survival. Xi's consolidation of power led to economic stagnation as seen in decline of Chinese economic growth rate. Under Xi's leadership, the Communist Party's influence in China has grown, whether internment camps in Xinjiang, control of Hong Kong and frequent aggression towards Taiwan and neighboring states of South China Sea. Xi's personal ideology is incorporated into the CCP constitution in 2017. Contrary to expectations, Xi didn't step down from his top roles after 10 years in 2022. The CPC faces challenges including a decline in ideological commitment among members, widespread corruption, and members engaging in religious activities despite the party's atheistic stance. Corruption remains a significant issue, with efforts to control it through policies having mixed effectiveness as purges or accountability remains selective and non-transparent. The party also deals with the Falun Gong movement, which resists suppression and criticizes the CPC's ideology, impacting the party's image. Overall, the CPC faces challenges related to ideology, corruption, and organizational influence, but its gradual infiltration into various aspects of society has contributed to China's continued stability and development.
我自愿加入中国共产党，拥护党的纲领，遵守党的章程，履行党员义务，执行党的决定，严守党的纪律，保守党的秘密，对党忠诚，积极工作，为共产主义奋斗终身，随时准备为党和人民牺牲一切，永不叛党。